All right, hey guys, this is Abby once again. Now, in today's video, what I'll talk about is how anyone can upgrade their thinking so that they can solve their existing problems in a much better way, faster way, efficient way. You know, you may have heard about this famous quote from Albert Einstein where he said, "The problem created by the same mind cannot solve it." What he wanted to say was you need to find better ways, a new approach to solve your existing problems. So if you have seen anyone around you facing the same problem for days, weeks, months, or even years, the chances are most likely that they have been approaching the problem in a similar fashion. They have not dig deeper into themselves, into their current situation in order to find the solutions that would actually get them out of the trap. And it's a common problem that we all from time to time suffer. I have been a victim of that problem as well. you know in my last video I talked about how I was stuck in a job for almost 10 years, and then finally got fed up and then decided to take a chance on freelancing. And since 2018 I've been living my dream life. uh, and it all boils down to making a decision. And that decision came when I actually decided to do something completely different, something that I had to go outside my comfort zone in order to do that. I was not able to do that because of fear, this common enemy of human progress. When you are afraid of something, you're basically afraid of the unknown. And that's why we stuck, we get stuck doing something even if we hate it, because there is a certainty around it. When you are certain that this is the outcome that you're going to get, you keep doing it even if it's not helping you improve your situation, whether it's financial, spiritual, emotional, anything else. And this is where, as human beings, we have that liberty, that choice to either be stuck at where we are right now or do something worthwhile, so that there's ample space for learning, doing new things, testing new things, failing out often, and then figure out a way to get out of our current problems. This is the only way, I think, uh, top 10% or extremely successful people in the world do that. They never give up. It's one of the tragedies of human civilization that the solution is inside all of us, but out of fear or out of programming or brainwashing or social conditioning, we decide to play with the crowd. And there's a reason why only 95% of the people follow 5% of the crowd. It has happened, it has happened for the last 6,000 years or so. And this proportion will never change. Only the faces will change, but this ratio of 5% to 95%, it will never change. And I think this is why self-reflection, self-study, finding new ways, attending different courses, meeting new people, having new experiences in life is so important, so that you break away from those cycles of those common deadly patterns that never allow you to grow up and be that kind of person who would be happy with what he has accomplished so far. And that's why when you see people who are extremely successful in job, in sports, or anywhere else, most of them, will talk about uh, an approach that would serve them in difficult times, whereas other successful people who may be successful in the eyes of public are pretty frustrated within themselves because they they are still approaching their problems, no matter how big or small, with same lenses that that have allowed them to remain stuck in the problems. So what I have to uh, realize here is there's always a choice. There's always a choice for all of us, a choice for you to either remain stuck by thinking about the same thing and doing the same thing and getting the same result, or doing something different, no matter how small, in order to get new meaning for your life. So tomorrow, when you wake up and you're doing the same thing, it would be foolish to expect a different result. You must have the courage and the motivation to do something else. Otherwise, the results will never be, different. It sounds pretty common, but a lot of people don't do it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there's this underlying fear of failure, of rejection that allows, that stops a lot of people from achieving their true potential. One of the things that I wanted to do with my life was showing my vulnerable part, in these videos, because you can see that these videos are completely unscripted. I come unprepared on these videos. I don't have any agenda. The only objective I have with these videos is to improve my line of thought, line of thinking, get more clarity in my own life, and hopefully help people like you to be 1% better every week, every day, so that we finally realize who we are and achieve our true potential. So I consider all of these video exercises that I'm doing here every day on YouTube is just a fun exercise. It helps me clarify my thinking. So even when I know that probably no one is listening to this video, I'm pretty happy with this process because I'm doing something really new. Even when I'm hesitant a bit, uh, sometimes I use a lot of filler words here. Sometimes I'm not sure what to say, but I like doing this because this is how I want to see myself in future. I want to be an inspiration for millions of people around the world because I know I have what it takes to reach there and help a lot of people. I cannot forget who I am, where I've come from, what kind of struggles I have gone through in my own life. You know, the guy who taught himself how to speak English, the guy who couldn't get a job after completing his graduation, and then got rejected by 8 companies. No, I think got rejected by more than 15 companies for 8 days in a row. Finally got accepted in one company with a pretty minimum salary, and then worked his way up to a level where I was making good amount of money, but still not happy with my life. And then I had the courage to leave that well cushioned job, high salary, and do something completely different, which was freelancing and working on my own terms. Even when the money was low initially, for the first 1 year or so, I was not complaining because I had little savings, and I knew that even if I did not have any savings at the end of 12 months, I would know, I would never go back into the old world of corporate job. So I made up my mind to burn the boats and decided that no matter what happens, either I'm going to go broke or do something worthwhile with my life. And fortunately, because of that strong mental attitude, uh, I started getting results quickly. After 12 months, phase was over. So the first 12 months was extremely difficult. I wanted to quit on many occasions, but underlying, I knew that if I do that, I would be completely ashamed of, in my life, and I would not be proud of myself. So it was kind of like of an ego thing that came out because I had to do it. I had no choice. And talking about no choice, I think that's a good way of thinking about solving your problems. If you have a choice, the chances are you will pick up those things that will help you stay in your comfort zone. But let's say if you don't give yourself a choice, and tomorrow, if you have been waking up at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., you give yourself no choice and start waking up at 5 a.m. That little change in your schedule could probably help you, you know, spot new patterns, give you some ideas out of nowhere to help your problems. Maybe there is some problem that you know that is bugging you for days, weeks, is not allowing you to sleep properly, to not, you know, uh, to not help you get into your peak state or whatever the problem is. Once you decide that you have no choice but to try something different, sooner or later it will start working, because that's the law of averages. When you try new things on a consistent basis, sooner or later you'll find something, a pattern, a new idea, a new sign from the universe that would allow you to keep going on that new path, keep experimenting, keep learning, keep getting better. And that's how you realize how much you have already accomplished over the next 90 days, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. The timing doesn't matter. What matters is your own inner feeling. If you are deep inside feeling that you are accomplishing something without caring anything about what people are thinking about you, or your family or your spouse or anyone else, but deep inside, if you are happy with your progress, I believe that's the best way to live your life and continue inspiring people around you, because that's the new way of thinking. There's a very great quote from one book, Something Happens in Vegas. Uh, I forgot the actor's names, but there's this quote from this guy, and he said that I would rather be happy by doing nothing than do something which I don't enjoy. So for me, that's another way of thinking. If you do not enjoy something, if you're not truly passionate about something, if you start, if you stop doing that thing, I mean that's a good really start. That little start will give you enough confidence to continue doing the same thing, and sooner or later you will start forming a pattern, a new image in your mind that would allow you to keep moving on in that direction, even when the destination is unknown, but you don't care because you have found that little taste of newfound freedom, that you never want to stop that journey. And eventually you'll realize that you know journey, being on that journey, on that self-discovery journey, is so much better than the destination. Because once you achieve that destination, and if you stop there, then you will again get in that same comfort zone feeling, where you will sooner or later be very pissed off with your life, because money has yet to make someone rich. No amount of money can make you happy. No amount of fame or status can you make happy from inside, because the real true happiness comes from within. It doesn't care about your worldly status. It cares about your inner feeling, your own inspiration, your true passion, your true calling. Because if you do not follow your true calling, no matter how much you accomplish in this world, no one knows better than you that something is still incomplete. Because again, that comfort zone of salary, the security, the known things will keep you stuck in that zone forever. And since we all have just one life to live, the last thing we want to do is you know think about all those things we could have done, and then at that point of time regret comes in, and then we realize that we could have been way better. We could have accomplished so much, we could have inspired so many people, we could have touched so many lives, but we didn't do that because I was hesitant. I stopped myself. I listened to someone else's idea. I bought someone else's philosophy, and I never listened to my true calling. And that's a shame. I'm 35, and I know I could have done a I could have easily left my job instead of being stuck in for 10 years. So I know the pain. If you are stuck somewhere, I can totally feel you. I totally relate with your experience because I've been there. But again, I'll say that if you do not take risk, the risk of looking like a foolish, even when you know that the path is unclear, but somewhere down inside your heart, there is this voice that keeps telling you to test this, try this new thing. And if you're still not doing it because you are afraid of losing the things that you have worked so hard to build for years, then I think that's not a good way to lead by example. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how happy and content you are. No amount of money, success, fame, or achievements will make you happy if you know that you could have done the things that you should have done, but you didn't. And that's where I would, I think like to end this video on, because new way of thinking requires you to be courageous, be bold, have that love for going into the unknown. Even when you know that the future is not clear, you have absolutely no idea. But if you can visualize the end result in your mind and truly believe that you can do it, then the time simply disappears. The old pattern of thinking simply disappears. And what is left is your new version, the better version that has finally awakened from the slumber and is ready to take on the world with a smile on his face. You know, when you find your true calling, you will realize that you wasted so much time doing things that really did not matter to you. But when you start doing that, you will keep on pushing yourself. You'll keep on challenging your self belief, your ideas, because the goal is not to look better in eyes of others to get approval from the society, but the real goal is how you can become a better version of yourself every passing day. Because you finally realize that time is really important and it's the only luxury we don't have. So once you understand the importance of time, the limiting time we all have, and giving your best every 24 hours, excluding the sleeping hours, of course, then I would say that's a very good way, very inspiring way to live your life. Because once you start doing that, everyone around you will get inspired by looking at you as an example. Your kids, your parents, your friends. Of course, not everyone will get inspired to do the same. Some people will remain skeptical. Some people would, continue to complain. But that's how this world works, because people will say no matter what you do or don't do. So rather than getting discouraged by what others are thinking about your next best move, I would say just do it. Remember that legendary quote from Nike, let's do it. Sorry, I think it's just do it. As three phrase. Start working on that because it's so true. If I had not had the courage to leave my job way back in 2018, I would not have been here recording this video and talking to you. You know, even when I know that a lot of times I do not make sense, but uh, this video is my medium through which I can clarify my thoughts and at least be honest with myself and with you and share everything that I have learned in my life. And I'm telling you, this learning never comes from old way of thinking. I had to push myself hard. I had to be disciplined enough to to follow a rigid schedule. And I'm a very boring person right now. I have a very predictable schedule. And you know what? I totally love it. I love being boring. I love this new routine because I exactly know and can visualize in my mind, where I want to go, and I don't care whether it takes 12 months, 18 months, uh, 24 months, or whatever. I just, read a few sections of, one book, which talks about the finite versus infinite player. The finite player cares about time. The infinite player only cares about the game. He keeps, he just wants to keep on playing. He doesn't care about wins or losses. And that's a very solid philosophy that I have recently adopted. I really don't care about how many people are going to watch this video or not. I really don't care who is sending me comments or not. Of course, it will really help to build an audience here, but my main purpose is to be a better version of myself every day. And this is why I'm recording this video. And hopefully, if I can inspire just one person through all of these videos that I'm going to share every day, then I would consider that's a very great uh, utilization of my time. Because Imagine just one of the things that you're doing can change someone's life. That's priceless, you know. And that's the reason why I never, believe in following a script to come on this video and follow it. But of course, with changing times, I think I can follow uh, uh, a well-defined script to clarify my thoughts further. But it's all about inspiration. It's all about coming from within. If I feel like recording a video and I don't feel like looking at a script, I just go ahead and do that because in a way I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself through you. And this is my newfound inspiration, my new motivation, where you know I could see a new future, a better future, where every day I am coming here, sharing my thoughts, struggles, my vulnerability, and still laughing at all the things that I have done and be honest enough to confess here on these videos. So again, before I end this, I know it's already like more than 20 minutes long. The final thing I would say is keep pushing yourself. It's never too late. You know what kind of thinking you know has kept you trapped. You need to get out of that trap. No one is going to do that for you. Of course, books can help you to a certain extent. Some mentors can help. Watching a video or doing meditation can help. But at the end, universe rewards those people who take actions fast. So if you don't take actions fast, if you don't you know change your routine, change your behavior, and do tiny new things every day so that you finally become confident in completely shattering out your old routine, you will never grow up to the kind of person you really want to become. So keeping that in mind, I would challenge you to upgrade your thinking by testing yourself out. Consider yourself as an experiment in a lab where your main goal is to be an observer and experimenting different ideas and watching the results carefully like a scientist and see which is working better for your life. If something is working better for you, keep on doing that. If something is not working for you, stop doing that. That's as simple as that. So once you pick up few things that are really working well for you, if you keep on doing that, eventually the results will compound and you'll have an exponential growth in your life in terms of money, in terms of your newfound passion, in terms of impact that you want to create in the world. So, again, new ways of thinking, testing new ideas out will always beat old problems because in old problems, there lies the complaining part, there lies the giving up part, there lies the 90% of the crowd who are just living and waiting to go into the grave. So before you are dead, start living like a real deal, you know, like a real person, like a real man, and challenge yourself to solve your problems by not relying on others, but relying on yourself by being a better version of yourself every single day. And never be afraid of working hard because that's the only thing that will keep inspiring you to achieve the next level. People who do not work hard on their skills, people who are not passionate about changing their lives, they sooner or later become a part of history books. No one will remember. And you are here to do a lot of things for others, not only for yourself. So in order to do that, you must find a way to become an inspiration for others so that they can follow you and do the same for others. All right. So thank you so much for watching this video. Tomorrow, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but I'll definitely come here online, probably at the same time, and then share something else. So until then, have a good rest of the week and good night.